to Bill Flynn in the morning.
It's 8 minutes after 9:08. Good morning. It is the Love Your Lawn Hour. We're delighted to welcome Tommy Cowett from GrowinGreen, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry
and
Christmas, Bill.
Jonathan and everybody, the GrowinGreen family. I saw you guys just whooping it up. Jonathan had posted something on social media. I guess you guys are having your company Christmas party.
Christmas party was a blast.
What'd you do?
We went bowling.
That's the picture I saw. It was just all you guys were standing in front of the lanes, and somebody was standing back where the I don't know, where the ball thing return comes up,
Yeah.
and took your picture. But look, everybody in that shot was having a great time.
Oh, man, we all had such a blast. It was the greatest time.
Where'd you do this?
Spare time on Hornaday Road in Greensboro, and it's just a blast. They got this VIP room in the back, 9 lanes. This thing will accommodate about 150 people.
So they can shut the door. You guys can hoop it up, and everybody else, you're not going to get in everybody else's
lanes, pool table, everything, and the food was phenomenal. I mean, it was really good. A great spread that they laid out. We all had a blast.
That's good.
I thought it was a great idea, great way to spread out, and everybody had a great time.
And what a great way to – you're eating chicken wings with your fingers. What a great way to clean your fingers by grabbing a bowling ball.
There you go. Wipe them on the inside of the ball, definitely. Or grease that ball up a little bit for sure.
How did you roll, by the way?
Dude, I was nailing some strikes and spares. I couldn't believe how well I did.
I think it has to do with the fact that you're having fun, and it's a joy, and sometimes you fall into. If it were tournament play, it probably would not have gone that way, right?
I saw a couple of things I'd never seen before. One of our great technicians, Josh Bemis, he could actually bowl between his legs. So he was bowling the thing down between his legs. And
in motion or standing still in this roll like a child? I mean,
no, he got a good pace to step up to the lane, and he rolled it down between his legs behind his back.
That's
sort of
impressive.
Like you would do that, like when you're dribbling a basketball.
Yeah,
that's the way he did it. And it was amazing. I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe this.
What a great way to fall down.
The ball knocks your legs out from under you. I can see that.
So you had a good time, and you bowled well.
Oh, we had such a great time. Yes, that was wonderful. Thank you, John, for taking us all out bowling for Christmas.
Yeah, it does bring together people, I think, bowling, unlike a lot of sports. I mean, everybody's out there. Nobody's a professional except for the one guy that you just pointed out, right?
He might be.
He may be.
Now, Scott Reese, our general manager, he was wearing a real bowling shirt.
Dang. You got to watch out for those people.
Very intimidating. We thought he was a ringer coming in there.
It's like those people that have fold-up chess boards at the coffee shop. Hey, you want to play chess? Well, I don't see a chess. I got one right here. If you jump in that, you're going to lose. You know that. So anyway, here we are, Christmas time. I was going to ask you just a few pointers. A lot of us are putting up electric lights and those electric bowls, they're hanging. They're so decorative.
Sure.
Lit up. Is there any reason not to leave those wires up there the year round? Is that a problem? Is there any problem with electricity being in the tree? Does it cause any health concerns?
I don't think it's a bad thing for the tree, per se, unless it stays there for a long, long time and it girdles the tree, and that way, this wire wrapped around a tree, and of course, it's going to be infused into the bark of the tree, and next thing you know, you got all this wire in there. Yes, that's a bad thing. So you got to take it down. You can't just leave that up there.
Okay, and actually,
we see this all the time in landscape plantings when people put straps on trees and stake them, strap them, and forget about it, and then it gets infused in the tree, and you've got a girdling issue, and that's terrible. You can't have that. But
now, with the girdling issue, does that weaken the structure of the tree?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it does. I mean, we've talked about cabling trees and things like that, and that's been practiced for years and years and years. So really, as far as Christmas lights up in a tree causing any adverse effects to the overall health of the tree, I very seriously doubt it will ever really cause any major problems unless it's, you've wrap the whole tree, like every inch of it, and then you let it go and never take it down. And then you've got lights that are infused in the whole tree. That could probably be a problem.
That would be a
and then go turning on plug it in, and then you've shocked the
For
whole
some
tree.
of us homeowners, it's like,
don't know.
if I can do it once, set it and forget it, and it's 5 or 8 years down the road, you say, I need to check that. And by then, you may actually see some of this infusion going on.
You will. You will. It will grow into that. Now, you know, there's always this thing about people who leave their Christmas lights up year-round.
Yes.
And, you know, some folks just don't take that too right. I mean, like, when's he going to take those Christmas lights down? I mean, you know.
But, you know, some restaurants have found a way to make Christmas lighting their year-round thing with the little lights inside, and it seems to work for them, you know.
In some cases, actually, I've seen some programs recently where it made sense to leave it up.
Real quick, too, what about anybody who has a live Christmas tree with roots on it and they want to replant it?
Oh, that's great.
What is the advice you would have for that for best results?
Well, really, you know, you want to keep that hydrated really good. You know, most people will bring a tree in that's balled and burlapped or in a large pot, and then they'll put that pot or balled, you know, burlap tree inside a large wash tub or something like that.
Right.
Keep it well watered so it doesn't dry out. And typically you bring something like that into the home for a month or so, it's going to really not do well. It's going to start to dry out and probably lose a lot of needles. Get that baby out there and get it planted. There's nothing better than that. I mean, even, you know, as Smith had mentioned, he's got one in the yard. What was it, a holly that they used one year?
Tree.
And they moved that out to the yard. I mean, that's a great idea. You know, that's sustainable.
And
that's great.
I mean, we're talking about trying to plant this thing, though, in January. I mean, are there some issues about that time of year?
Not at all. This is a great time to plant trees.
Okay.
It absolutely is. This is sort of like, you know, with the lawns, we get that in September, and you get this time for the roots. You know, you get a lot of root growth, a lot of root activity with both trees and shrubs in your lawn this time of year through the winter. And it builds a lot of carbohydrates up, trying to store these carbohydrates to get through next summer. It's all about Mother Nature and how this works. And, you know, if you plant this time of year, you're going to do a lot better than having to water if you plant in the spring, because there are no roots. There's nothing that's established itself yet. And now you're trying to establish things, and the root activity is not in the spring and in the summer. Root activity is in the fall and the winter. And you really want to get some roots going in this time of year with whatever plant it is in the ground. So that's the key.
Is there a better result with, I don't know, Douglas fir versus Scotch pine? I mean, are they all going to be pretty close to performing the same if you get them out in time and really plant them well?
Fact is, around here in the Piedmont, in our region, I mean, you can move on up into rural Hall and Mount Airy. And go
hold that
way.
thought there. I want to get your answer. We'll take a break and come back, because this is an intriguing topic, because I know for a lot of folks it's actually a tradition where they measure their yard by the number of Christmas trees they've tried to replant. So we'll get to that and your answer on that in just a moment on AM 980 The Eagle. Love Your Lawn Hour.
Call now. The number is 896-1980. AM 980 The Eagle.
Good morning. It is 9:20, 20 minutes after 9. The Love Your Lawn Hour continues with Tommy Cowett of GrowinGreen. And Merry Christmas to everybody at GrowinGreen, and to you joining us this morning via live stream. We got a story about that coming up on the segment I want to get to. I hope this segment about folks listening live on the stream, on our podcast, certainly live on the air too at AM 980, The Eagle. Right before the break, we were talking about how a number of folks this time of year want to find a Christmas tree that, you know, instead of throwing it away and watch it get dragged off by the city or whatever, like to have a plantable Christmas tree. And you were telling me, beginning that answer on for the best results, you know, what seems to do well around here, what is less likely to thrive. So tell me what the answer is there, Tommy.
Well, everybody likes to buy the Fraser fir. I mean, that is the keystone of all Christmas trees right now. I mean, it grows well up in the mountains of North Carolina, and they can mass produce them. It's a huge agricultural commodity for our state and
it
for the
truly
whole
is.
country.
Yes, yeah.
But, you know, they're not going to do really well down here in the Piedmont. You probably end up with some mite infestation. You're going to end up maybe with some scale. You're going to, they'll stress out in the summertime. They're not going to thrive like they will, like I was mentioning, rural Hall and above, go up to Mount Area, get up in the mountains. They're not going to do well down here in the bottomland. But, you could grow a blue spruce, probably would be a better choice. You're probably going to pay a little more than you would for a cut Christmas tree if you buy one like that and put it in the yard. And it's still going to stress out. I would like to say maybe a Deodora cedar, if you could just tolerate a Deodora cedar for a year. It'll have kind of the shape. It's more like a cedar, though. And it's not going to hold your lights and ornaments up as well because it'll droop. But, if I was going to do one that way in the wash tub, I'd probably go blue spruce and get a really nice one and find a good location for it in the yard.
And when you say good location, is there take an average yard? Is it one that you want a lot of sunlight or a little sunlight?
You do want
what do you
full
want for
sun
that?
for these things. Absolutely. Norway spruce would work as well. But you're going to want that plant to be in full sun after, you've taken it out and planted it.
And as far as prepping the site for best chance for it to survive and thrive, what are you going to do? You're going to, the depth of the hole and what you're going to put in it to encourage growth, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you typically dig that hole 3 times the size of the root ball, twice the size of the root ball. Make a really nice,
It's a big hole.
Yes, a huge hole for it.
Yeah.
Good organic matter incorporated into that, some fertilizer. Cut the any wires basket that might be on it and plant it and do a proper planting. This is a great time to do it after Christmas. Wonderful time to do it. In fact, we've got a customer in High Point that has one for each of his kids from Christmases in the past.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a new grandchild this year, and it may well be you've already got the primary tree. Maybe having the secondary one would be the thing to do.
He's got 4. I believe. I know he had 3, and then he planted the 4th. And I got to say, Bill, they're not doing great. That's
now.
Which
ones
my
are
point.
they that he's?
They're Norways.
Okay, yeah.
And they're not in enough sun. They're growing in the shade, and they've struggled. So, it's not an optimum growing plant in this area, unfortunately.
It sounds a little sad if you're the tree. It's almost like Frosty the Snowman. He's meant to be,
exactly.
in the
Great analogy.
In the cooler climes. Right?
Absolutely. That's a great analogy.
Talk to me, too, and with everything you do at GrowinGreen, folks, I hope understand that you do an awful lot to encourage, and to work with nature and encourage lawns to look just picture perfect, which I've seen great success with the work you've been doing at my lawn.
Thanks.
Right now, this time of year, though, we're looking at, there's an awful lot of outdoor lighting going on.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas decor kind of thing. Is this a big part of the landscape of this season cycle that you see across the country?
Oh, it absolutely is a huge part of the landscape industry. Christmas lighting. It's a huge segment. I'd say it's right up there with irrigation. But it's probably even bigger than irrigation because it's a must every year. It's a huge industry. And the lights are probably purchased in July, I would say. The fixtures and all the light strands and whatnot that you're going to use for the year. You got to get that stuff in early because it goes quick. And, you can get in with, there's a lot of big landscape lighting companies that provide those, Christmas lights. And all of our big commercial accounts that we deal with, from High Point University to a lot of commercial sites, municipalities, you name it. That is a big part of their landscape budget for the year.
Well, the expectation for many neighborhoods and houses, we all want to, we don't want to be the dark spot in the neighborhood when it comes to lights. And I would think, too, as folks get older, and you still want to have that Christmas display, but, getting up on a ladder in your front yard is less and less of a joy and more of a chore. And certainly, you can injure yourself doing these kinds of things. Heck, I've seen, what do you call those, front-end loader type things.
Oh, yeah.
That'll put lights up.
Little lifts.
30 feet up in the air in your residential areas if you want them to.
Sure. Hey, they'll come around. No, It makes it a lot easier than a ladder and breaking your neck, you know. I mean, I know I'm going for the heights on my house before, and I've had to, start backing off of it. I mean, I was going for the peak for years. And when, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, I looked up at that peak, and it's like, it's got to be 30, 40 feet up there. No. This year, I'm not going to do that peak. I think I'll just leave it down.
So at the Cowett house, are you pretty well lit up at this point?
I'm doing some different stuff this year. I'm doing more wreaths and I have a peace sign, large peace sign that I always decorate, and I do the Christmas balls, which if you get the chance to get over, and I'm sure this is catching on all over the air, the Christmas balls are huge. We actually have a video on GrowinGreen.com with making Christmas balls, and I show you how to make them out of chicken wire.
Now, that's
Christmas lights and chicken wire, and you make the balls, and then you throw a line up in a tree, and you raise that baby up, and you
make it sound so easy. Throw a line up in the tree, but when we come back, I'd like just a couple of quick tips from you about how to effectively do that. If you've never done one before, some of the pitfalls you can avoid, and we'll get to that with Tommy Cowett and the Love You Lawn Hour, and all about Growing Green. And you can join us, too, on the program, 896-1980, if you have a question for Tommy Cowett.
Call now. The number is 896-1980, AM 980, The Eagle.
I love that song.
Oh, yeah.
All I Want for Christmas Is You. Not that silly Mariah Carey version, which is okay. But this is the real one.
Yes, it is.
Vince Vance and the Valiants. And, oh, man. Boy, that lady could really, really sing. Lisa Lane is her name, the vocalist there. You never heard that. Far better version of a song by the same title, but a different song entirely. Anyway, Merry Christmas from all of us here at AM 980, The Eagle. You know, Christmas time is about enjoying great times and great food and love and recognizing the birth of Christ Jesus. You can do all of that at the Camel City Barbecue Factory if you want to. You know, you don't have to cook every meal at home. You can let Camel City Barbecue kind of help you out along the way. Let me encourage you to visit their website, CamelCityBBQ.com. CamelCityBBQ.com. They're on Liberty Street here in Winston-Salem. And when you get there, I want you to try a couple of things. You might try the brisket sliders, maybe the brisket melt. Ooh. Maybe the pulled pork barbecue sandwich, which is one of their calling cards, as you might guess, being named the Camel City Barbecue Factory. And they also got a terrific brisket plate. pulled pork plate as well. Everything I've had there has been just excellent. I want you to try them. Camel City Barbecue Factory, Liberty Street, phone number 306-9999, 306-9999. Think about giving a visit there. They do a really great lunch. They'll get you in and out quickly. And, of course, the dinner, you can sit down and enjoy a fine sit-down dinner, too. Games and pool tables on the top floor area, video games, everything. Just a great chance to enjoy really a nice – it's more than just going out to dinner. It's almost its own event at Camel City Barbecue Factory. We continue with Tommy Cowett this morning.
Good morning.
Of GrowinGreen, the Love Your Lawn Hour. And we were just talking about the decorating that you do, the landscape, and really how big a part of the landscape industry Christmas decorations have become, both commercial for, professional properties as well as homeowners. Absolutely.
It's a big part of the landscape industry. There's people that make a good portion of their whole yearly annual income, landscape companies that just specialize in landscape lighting for Christmas.
And it's a big huge job. Anybody that's done it for themselves, it's a big job to get it done. I mean, if you're pretty expansive about the idea, and you were just giving me an example.
Oh, I love doing it. I mean, the projects, and we were talking about your friend who invented one that's now almost in Walmart. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Pat Coyne has actually come up with a device that it's essentially interlocking rings that when you buy them, you just snap them together, and it makes a perfect sphere.
That's perfect. That's great.
Already ready for putting the lights on it. I mean, it's already designed for that.
I've made them out of the chicken wire Christmas balls for years. And if you go down into, Sunset Hills in Greensboro, North Carolina, where a lot of this started as a sustainable way to reuse Christmas lights years ago by a couple of the Carters, I believe is the name. And then it just snowballed. This whole thing just took off. And now it's a whole neighborhood full of these Christmas balls in everybody's trees. It's amazing. It's the most beautiful thing to see.
Now tell me, you had the secret for getting them airborne. If you don't have a front end loader to get you 25 or 30 feet up, what do you do?
Well, my brother, he does it, and he uses a fishing pole, with a golf ball and a screw, and just casts that string up into the trees. And, of course, it's going to come down, and you connect your ball to it, make sure you're wired up before, And, I mean, all my balls are on the ground before I raise them. And, they're wired, and then you need help. You get as many people as you can. I've got 15 balls now.
My gosh.
But I'm not putting them up in the trees anymore. I'm actually putting them on a tree, which is it's a bottle tree that I made with beautiful colored bottles, and I've taken my balls and I've fashioned them to that tree. It's so much easier to put up and take down.
So how tall is this tree you
Probably about 10 feet tall.
Okay, so you can actually
lots
reach
of bottles
it almost,
on it. Yeah, now I can,
cool.
and I've got all these pegs coming off that where I could put my balls on it, hanging with the bottles. It lights up the bottles. It lights up those. And then I'm not dealing with the hoisting the balls anymore. I mean, it's just gotten... it's just a lot of work to do that, then raise them, and then during storms, they come down sometimes. It's a lot of fun.
Or during your picnic, you hear this whop.
Oh, yeah, they come down, you got to fix them. You see that one of your balls is out, you got to lower that one down, then you have to lower like 5 down.
Yes.
I mean, for the younger guy, go for it, man. I've got young guys in my neighborhood. I see them coming up, and they're blowing my doors away now.
Good for them.
But back in the day, I was the man. I was going for the peaks.
We all have to take our turn at that leadership, and obviously you have and still are. It's AM 980, The Eagle. We'll take a short break and come back with our final segment of the Love Your Lawn Hour. And Tommy's got a great idea for a new outdoor decoration that may be just the perfect thing for you and your neighborhood and your lawn. Coming up on The Eagle.
Call now. The number is 896-1980. AM 980, The Eagle.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman is a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know how it came to life. someday. There must have been some magic in that old top hat they found. For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Old Frosty the Snowman was alive as he could be, and the children say we could laugh and play just the same as you and me.
Oh, yeah, little Frosty the Snowman, which, by the way, is a nice example of recycling, because when he melts, he's going to water your plants, and that's we appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
Making the most out of Frosty.
North Pole snow.
What could be better?
No,
what could be more
plants
pure?
love it.
We continue with the Love Your Lawn Hour this morning. Tommy Cowett of GrowinGreen is with us, and we're kind of been talking really all this segment, this hour so far, and the Christmas motif, which so many of us really want to take advantage of. And maybe we want to put something out there, but we just don't want to be climbing up altitude and trees or on roof lines or putting the icicles up or on that second, that second floor eavesdrop up there. You have something, I think, that is really cool.
Yes.
That looks good if you put it on the ground.
You can do anything with these. This is phenomenal.
It's
I'm
beautiful.
definitely, I've
They're
not
just beautiful.
started to make it yet, but I am going to make one.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is called a sparkle ball. And you make these basically out of the Solo cups. Now, you want to go with cups that are clear. This really helps them sparkle. Don't use the red plastic cup.
Yes.
Don't use that.
Because that'll suck up all the light.
Yeah, you won't see much light.
Yeah.
You want to use a clear plastic cup. Sheets cups would be awesome because they kind of have a bluish tint to them. They're clear. So if you save up your Sheets cups, now it takes about 100 cups to make a sphere. And as you start to staple these cups together, they will eventually create a ball, a large ball.
Okay, so let me make sure. I put them, and they're going to be angled, put side by side. I angle them down,
Start
staple
stapling
on the
them.
bottom is where I staple it.
No,
or
you staple them
side?
together on the sides.
From the inside of the cup?
From the inside of the cup.
Oh,
Okay. And as
got
you go around and the cups begin to start going together,
and they will make a sphere.
they will make a sphere. It takes about 100 cups, like I said, to make a sphere.
So it's going to be, how big is that? It's going to be bigger than
pretty
your
big,
chest?
depending on the size of the cup. There are some big ones,
Yeah.
if you go with large. But if you're using smaller cups, even like the ones at the dentist office, those are really awesome. That makes a perfect little ball.
But sometimes they're also
Spit cup that you
opaque.
Yeah, opaque, yeah.
That can add a nice
clear.
halo effect, can't it?
Sure.
This is really a cool idea.
Oh, it's a great idea. Okay, so the angle of the cup is going to eventually create this sphere.
Right. How do you
Now,
put the lights on?
in the inside of the ball, because you're going to end up with two halves before you staple the two halves together. You stuff that with the balls. Now, you can actually, before you start to take your cups apart, you could drill all the way through all your cups and get some holes in the bottoms of the cups, and you can actually take like 100 strand of lights, whatever you want, colored, or if you want solid colors, makes great balls. You just can push each light through each cup. Now, it's kind of tedious.
Mm-hmm.
Or just ball them all together and put them on the inside. You probably don't even have to take the rubber bands off of it to get it to work inside that space in between the two spheres. But it's probably best to undo the rubber band and have it kind of in there. That's the way I've seen them. There's some DIY YouTube videos on how to do this.
Cool, yeah.
I'm getting ready to do. I'm probably going to do mine this weekend for sure. But another thing to do is just leave them in halves. And this is what I caught my eye. So if you look at this thing, it looks like a flower. It looks like a zinnia.
So when you're doing the half, do you put it so that is like the concave part of the center, is it up?
Yeah, I mean, it's
and then you
up,
put
so it looks like a flower on the ground.
It's actually blooming.
Yeah, it's blooming. And maybe do 2 or 3 of them, and you'll have like a bouquet on the ground.
How cool is that?
It's awesome.
And it saves you from stepping up on the ladder and ending up with an orthopedic surgeon visit over Christmas,
sure.
too.
You could probably put them in your bushes, or fasten them to the bushes, or fasten them to the side of the house, or fasten them,
I think you
a
just
tree or something.
I think you just may have sold some cups. I really do.
I do believe I have. I know I'm going to go buy some cups. I mean, I haven't saved up enough Sheets cups. I probably should have been saving my Sheets cups all year.
Well, there's a reminder here. You got a whole year in front of you now to start doing it.
I will do that. And I'm going to
prep.
probably go with small cups or maybe big. I don't know, extra large, large. I mean, it depends.
But the view from somebody walking or driving by the house is you see it looks almost ethereal, doesn't it? It
It's
sparkles
beautiful.
and it's hard to hide.
It's called a sparkle ball.
You don't know exactly what it is or how it gets that effect, but that's exactly.
Oh, it has an amazing effect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I've not seen anything as cool as this. Or, I've been trying to. Yeah, we do peace signs. My whole family, everybody in my family's got a peace sign at their house. And started with my dad making a giant one out of grapevine years ago, and he hung it up between these two giant maple trees in front of the house on New Garden Road. And then, other people started to do it, and you see them around. But it's kind of a peace on earth kind of thing,
And as we're talking about the exterior Christmas lights and the seasonal lighting, another thing that does play into this is the landscaping lights that I know you have touched on over time that are permanent installations for, highlighting the front of a house or a particular architectural feature of the home or the commercial structure. And being able to utilize both of these techniques for a really great Christmas display is pretty cool.
Oh, man, the landscape offers so much in the way of, bringing the Christmas spirit to the house. Berries and trees, berries on bushes, and using that to decorate your mantle, bring it in the house, decorate your wreaths with it, make wreaths out of, different types of plant material. That you could find in your yard. I've been doing some pruning lately to make my wreaths. So
really?
it's got me to do some pruning.
Okay, what's going to go in the wreath that you've
Juniper. I've got euonymus. It's kind of a variegated color. I've got tons of nandina with berries. I got hollies. I got osmanthus plants. They all needed a little bit of pruning, and I went to town.
Great idea.
Different types of junipers, different types of chamaecyparis, different types of all kinds of, going out Leland cypress trees. Go cut some of that and make bows out of that.
And my guess, knowing you, the wreath is just but one stop along the way to the mulch pile, ultimately.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to use these clippings.
They end up back in the compost pile. Yep.
And boy, you've gotten a lot of use out of that tree. And back to that lighting issue, too. Really, if you have a really pretty area in your lawn, your landscaping, where a particular tree or some shrubbery or whatever outdoor growth, to be able to highlight that with just a standard spotlight has its own powerful effect.
Oh, it does. I love that. Somebody, really, put some light just on their front porch after they've decorated with just plant material, not decorated with lights, but just one spotlight on some beautiful, bows and different greenery that they've, garland, that type of thing that's decorating the home. It's beautiful.
Beautiful time. All right. Well, I guess the next time we see you will probably be probably after the Christmas break here, if my calendar is looking right. But at any rate, the thing that, being able to reverse everything you're doing at some point will be healthy for you and make it, I guess the thing is you want to make it so when it comes time to tear it down, you don't tear it up. That you could reuse these, except of course for the wreaths that are living plant material. Mm-hmm. But to be able to, take them down and not destroy them in so taking them down.
And these trees are going to end up getting ground up for mulch. Most of them. The city will come by and put them in the compost.
And then we'll buy them all over again.
We'll buy them right back. Which is a good thing.
It is. It is.
It really is.
Let me encourage you to join Tommy Cowett and the staff. By the way, Merry Christmas to you. If you have some questions about anything we've talked about, how to really enjoy your lawn and enjoy some of the things that we've talked about, Tommy is always available at GrowinGreen to be on the phone, answer questions for you. And the number is 1-800 say it with me, 1-866-LAWN-HELP. Is that right? 1-866-LAWN-HELP. And you can also go to GrowinGreen.com, the website. We're out of time, but Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas. At Growing Green and to you too. I'm Bill Flynn. We'll see you tomorrow.